to get tons and tons of letters, back in the days. And now with like social media, people can get in touch with you very easily.
Yeah.
So we're like, how can we like take that and convert it into a format that will work for kids? So we thought,
Correct, correct.
what smartwatch kind of concept works. Ben 10 is like a great example.
Yeah. Kids are obsessed with that also.
Yeah.
Benton had some longevity. I've noticed that, like like during us growing up, like Pokemon was the major thing. Then Beyblade happened, and Beyblade that whole kadai mein been
Correct,
fighting and all of that, and then suddenly like the post my generation when I graduated from 10th, I remember Benton came into picture, and they were like, "Yo, this is a thing." And every merchandise was just Benton,
yeah.
and now it's Chota Bheem, of course.
Yeah.
You can't escape.
Chota Bheem started when I was still with Pogo.
Yeah.
And
I call
like
it
the way it took off.
Yeah, the Chota Beamification of this universe.
True. Even
But
for my show, they were like, have we started already?
We have started.
Oh, okay.
Bamboozled. Yeah.
They were like, oh, we need to do more stuff with Chota Bheem. So I was like, oh, can Chota Bheem come on the show? Or can you draw Chota Bheem? And
like in the watch, Chota Bheem shows up. But have you speaking of imagine that, right? Like I used to watch all these sci-fi movies growing up where it was like futuristic technologies would be like this. Like special example is Back to the Future. Like when he's in 1985, I think he's traveling to 30 years,
Correct.
2015, and there's like same hoverboards and like cars are flying and shark Jaws ka shark is now 3D and nothing happened. 2015 came and went.
happened.
All we had was a pandemic and
even
sickness. Yeah.
before that, with Jetsons and all, we were like
Yeah.
flying cars. Acha, hoega. Kabhi kuch nahi ho raha hai.
Yeah, like I think
Metro
2019.
nahi ban raha hai.
I think some year recently, 2019 or something, was when Jetson's birth was supposed to happen. Like Cartoon Network had designed
correct,
his
correct.
birth here, and someone's like today somewhere, some people are fucking for George Jetson to be born.
But there's also like a theory, that Flintstones and Jetsons are probably
Yeah.
like from the same time period.
Correct.
Where these guys are the rich elites and these guys are the poor, whatever.
Yeah,
So
correct.
they are in the Stone Age and these guys are like
In the Sky Age,
yeah.
like Elysium.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Flintstones was amazing. I think a lot of what we were watching as kids was so inspiring. And I look at my nephews and nieces, and this is a common topic that we discussed on the show as well. Do you think there's any kind of scope for kids to enjoy content now? Like you're making content for sure, but
Yeah.
apart from that, the general broadcasting that you see, what is it like?
No, there is a lot of content out there which kids can consume. The problem is that बहुत सारा content है भैया. To filter out what works for them, that is becoming difficult.
Yeah.
And like you rightly said that, if something works, like Chota Bheem was working and, the channel was just like showing Chota Bheem all
Yeah.
throughout the day.
Yeah.
Like we know Harry Potter works for us, at that time. I mean, Harry Potter has a big fan
Yeah.
following. तो कुछ भी रहता था तो अच्छा ये वाले स्पॉट में अभी एक हैरी पॉटर का मूवी डाल देते हैं.
Correct.
So the
Yeah.
whole day you're just sitting and watching Chota Bheem, Harry Potter, or
Yeah.
that kind of content. So even if there is something that they can watch and enjoy, वो इतना छोटे पीरियड के लाएगा तो.
Correct. So we're still waiting for Aakash, who's supposed to join us. He's using a fire as an excuse to not turn up on time, but we'll see. How did Pogo happen? Like that's such an interesting aspect of most of our childhood lives. Like we just remember, like there was this tiny TV, which was do you remember? Oswald was there, then Kipper naam ka dog,
Noddy.
yeah, and then you were there, like
Suddenly.
yeah. And I'm like,
After all that one guy with dreadlocks.
yeah, I'm like, Big Ears looks different now. So, and I remember the story behind it that you were producing and working behind the scenes before you got on the whole thing, right?
No, I wasn't working behind the scenes, but what had happened was I had moved to Bombay because I wanted to make animated content, wanted to make films and things like that. And I was working with a studio. And with that studio, we had designed a whole animation package for a competitive channel. Hangama ko launch kiya tha us time.
Correct. जो भी है ही नहीं तो चलेगा.
जो भी है नहीं. अभी वो डिज्नी के अंडर आ गया था ना.
Of course. क्या नहीं
सब कुछ डिज्नी है.
हाँ.
So around that time only when हंगामा का ये सब हुआ, I got a call and they said, hey, we would like to meet you. And so I thought, oh, मेरा काम इधर उधर जा रहा है अभी लोग, And that time I was just fresh out of NID. So I thought, okay, I'll go and meet. So I went there with like my work on a CD to show them, not knowing that they are looking for people to also host it.
Correct.
So when I met them, they really liked the work and they said, Abhi, you'll have to come for an audition. I said, what do you mean? So they said audition for the show.
And you're like, this is Bombay. It's getting too real. It's a casting couch.
हर जगह पे audition.
Yeah.
No, so it was kind of like that only. And then they said, no, we are also looking for people to be in front of the camera. So I said, I'm very happy being behind and designing the show and working on that. But yeah, long story short, they sort of said, no, you have to. We love the look. I was in my big ass cargo pants and my anti-fit sort of,
Yeah,
t-shirts and my
yeah.
bandana with my long locks. So I said, no, we'll audition and let's. And they had like a script. And when I looked at the script, and I'd never faced the camera, so I was like,
Mm.
zero experience.
Yeah,
This will be a
yeah,
big failure.
yeah.
I said, if you want me to do, I won't be able to, whatever, mug up these lines. मेरे को खुद एक छोटा script लिखने दो. I mean, I obviously like came from a film background, so I can write my own script or
Correct,
work on an
correct.
idea, and then
Yeah.
when I come here, I can whatever, like
Riff
act
off
it out,
Yeah,
sort of.
yeah, yeah.
So they said, okay. So I wrote down a script. I took like a day and a half, and then I came or audition, and there was Jules Fuller, who was the executive producer at that time. Back in the days, he was at Channel V and also very cool guy.
Mm.
He was sitting there and watching. He's a British guy, okay? And I did my whole act. And then, like, so what do you think, Jules? He said, I didn't understand a fucking word he said. But I love what he was doing because I had designed these little models. I did stop motion animation also as a
Correct, correct,
specialization.
yeah.
So I had designed these models and stuff. And they were like, it was almost like a puppet show, things happening. And big, like, cellophane sheets coming down and painting that with glue and throwing confetti that, oh, suddenly stars are appearing and all
Correct,
of that.
correct,
So, but I love the presentation style and all of that. So I would really like to shortlist you for the thing. And I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody else who was on the shortlist back then?
When I went for the audition, there were like hundreds and hundreds of like people and known faces. Like I'd seen na kisi audition mein ya TV pe, and I was
Correct,
like,
correct.
inke samne to I won't be able to.
Yeah.
And
But
there was another
yeah.
girl, I just met her recently. She was from JJ. So both of us were shortlisted.
Correct.
And she was quite comfortable talking. And I was comfortable doing stuff. So I
Yeah.
thought this is a great combo. I will
Yeah.
do stuff and she'll talk because I'm
Yeah.
not great
Yeah.
at talking to the camera kind of thing. And at that time, I didn't even know that I had it in me कि चलो मैं लोगों को सिखा सकता हूँ
Correct.
वैसा वाला scene. But yeah, it just happened.
Did
And
you ever
then
anticipate back then कि इतना फटेगा because like we were like back then TV was like कि throw everything to the wall and see what works, right?
yeah.
But that worked.
It worked. And I didn't know. There was no... I mean, in fact, like I told the animation studio that I'm just doing this for fun.
Yeah. That's
मैं
always
वापस
key.
आ रहा हूँ 3
मेरा
महीने
part-time,
में
हाँ.
because I thought like it'll be a great story to tell यार कि एक टीवी शो मिल गया बॉम्बे आया था
Correct.
in just few months I got an opportunity to create and develop a show.
Yeah.
But they gave me a lot of creative freedom, the channel, to work on ideas, and the format that we started with was very different from what went on air.
Correct. Yeah.
And it was earlier because it was music, art and dance. It was very like, there were 3 segments, we'll teach music, we'll teach dance, but slowly it became a very art heavy show.
Art heavy show because
Yeah.
dance was like whatever.
Yeah, they were just to like complement
Yeah,
the music.
even now,
and-
I remember we used to watch as kids, right? And we were like, "Ki, chal na, dance kya kare? Chal, art dikha. Show me the giant Amitabh Bachchan poster."
So yeah, when I started and developing ideas, then it also became like one of those things, that abhi ek opportunity hai. Like all my struggles, all the challenges I face, like society में लोगों ने बोलता है, अरे तुम क्या करोगे artist बन के?
हाँ.
अभी दिखाना है लोगों को कि what you can do and what the possibilities are. So each episode was like a new theme, or photography, or animation, or
Correct,
tribal art, to sculpture making. ताकि कहीं पे भी इंडिया में कोई भी बच्चा बैठा उसको रह रहे I love sculpture or I love like animation, तो उसको कुछ ना कुछ तो आइडिया मिलेगा कि I can do this.
Correct.
And I think that clicked.
Hmm.
That clicked with people, and then suddenly it was a hit. And Jules, the same guy, called me and said, "Hey, you're doing better than Noddy." And I was like, "What?"
And you were like, "आ गया Robbie." Yeah.
No, people go, "Rob the Builder."
Oh yeah, that's better.
It's like Bob the Builder.
yeah. So how did the name happen? Like, because your full name is Harun Robert.
Yeah.
And then the nickname, was it like something that you planned for TV or
No,
like,
no,
it
no,
was
no.
always a-
I think right from school, college days. School mein still I was Harun. But college aate it became Robert. I used to play basketball, and also that time I used to listen to a lot of hip hop, rap, with this dressing sense. So Robert sort of clicked. Harun did like go well with like a rapper or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, like people, it's easier to remember. Bollywood में इतना Robert है
कितना
तो
सारा, yeah.
कितना सारे villain.
All the Christians in Bollywood are either Anthony's
Michael,
or Robert or
Robert,
Michael.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like even like there's so many different names. Like I have this one guy called Romaldo in my area. Romaldo. It's a great name, right? It's a Portuguese name. So like
Correct.
It's always like I think how the Muslims are always like tum Ahmad ho, ya tum Akbar ho. It's like that.
So that's the thing, because my name is Harun,
Mm.
and it's like if you look at the Urdu or Hindi text of the Bible, it's Harun, but in
Yeah.
English it's Aaron.
Aaron, yeah.
You know, so people thought it's a Muslim name, or some thought it's a Christian name, so there was confusion. So with Pogo also same thing happened. They said Robert we can't keep because again Bollywood villain,
Yeah.
whatever, we don't
Yeah.
wanna. And Harun is so tricky because
Yeah.
people would call me Harun. I said no, it's Harun.
Yeah.
So they said, what can we do? And Jules, who was fondly used to call me Rob all
Yeah.
the time, they said,
Yeah.
can we just, I said, yeah, I mean, what's there? 3 महीने की तो बात है, वापस
Yeah.
animation करना है मेरे को छोड़ के.
It's easy for the British to use the word Rob anyways. Because where is our co-host, guys? क्या उसकी गान में आग लग गया क्या? What the fuck? We won't keep this. It's okay. Actually, we have no standards on this show. But tell me about the fan mails. You were saying like now it's different, that social media has come into the picture. The show was a hit, and how were the kids reacting to the whole thing?
It was crazy, yeah. I think the first time I realized that the show is doing so well, and you know, when I came to Bombay, I was just living in this one small studio apartment on
Where was
Carter
this?
Road.
Oh,
Okay.
that's what I'm doing now. So it's like
Also, when I started my animation career,
Hmm.
that time I was staying in Borivali.
Oh,
So as
wow.
soon as I got my television job and a big paycheck, I was like, abhi to thoda move karna
हाँ,
padega.
correct.
So I got this tiny little studio apartment on Carter Road. And I was staying there, no TV, no nothing, no AC. सिर्फ room था.
Yeah.
मतलब you go down for a walk, Carter Road पे ठंडा होके आके सो जाओ.
Those
ऐसा.
infamous Carter Road houses, which are just like 2 घर का 4 घर बना दिया उन्होंने.
Yeah, my mom came down and they were like, ये क्या है? Like my whole room was this big यार. और
Yeah.
उसमें एक standing kitchen भी था.
And you're from Delhi, so where there's like lot of space.
Big house, terrace, everyone has like at least plants and trees growing, you know, all of
Correct,
that. My
yeah.
mom was like, why are you doing this to yourself? And you're
Yeah.
saying, oh, you got like now a television career and all, and this is what you're getting.
And this is like no robbery happens in Bombay because of this only. We don't show off, you know.
And even with that, like my neighbors would knock sometimes and say, Pani nahi aa raha, we want to wash clothes.
Oh shit.
And they would come and I'm sitting on my computer working and in
Ah.
my bathroom they're washing clothes.
Correct.
You know, it was like that. It was a really nice, sweet Muslim family.
Yeah, but that's quintessential Bombay. Like that teaches you everything about life in
Oh,
one
absolutely,
little
absolutely.
envelope, right?
And same, at the same time, you know, same guys.
Hmm.
I have a little blocked nose.
Same.
Same time, at times when they would see me coming back late from a shoot or something or work, and I would go and they would see me crossing like, Harun beta kaise ho? And I was like, fine. Dinner kya? I said, no, I'll order or I'll go down to Carter Road. Carter Road at that time, they had those stalls, you know,
Correct,
people would
correct.
stand and sell kebabs and dosas and
Yeah,
all. Then
yeah.
they stopped everything.
Yeah.
So they said, I'll go down. No, we made some biryani or we made some, and then food would come and they would
nice.
sit and talk. So they were very sweet like that also. Yeah,
Correct,
you know,
correct.
so it was almost like that whole building or society was like one big family.
Yeah.
So it was really nice like that.
We had the same thing. My neighbors, the 2 bachelor Bengali men living over there, and for a long, like I grew up in Bhayandar, which is beyond Borivali, right? So we had a major water crisis where like there were 5 of us living in our house, and the water was never enough to like drink and wash up and whatever. So the neighbors, 2 bachelor Bengali men, they're like, "Auntie, हमारे पास पानी बहुत आ रहा है, हम भर के रखेगा." So every morning at 7 a.m., my mom would send me to the Bengali men's house to go and fill water up and bring it back. Yeah. It was quite something. And they were in their lungi, so it was pretty much like, my mom said, I'm not going inside. I'm like, you want their water, but you're scared of looking at them in lungis. That's Bombay for you.
But sorry, I forgot the question that
That's
we were.
okay. It doesn't matter.
We just
No, the reaction to the
digress.
show from the kids and the feedback of it all.
Correct. So at that time, when I would walk down and kids would be playing in the sunset, they would look at me and go like Pogo, whatever. And they didn't even know my name or show name, but they were like, Pogo.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like people know me kind of like that. And ta-da-da!
Yeah. Late.
Oh,
Stop vlogging this. You're late. Shame on you. I'm vlogging.
hey, this look also I didn't see.
How's it going?
You're supposed to
Where
wear
your
track
locks
pants.
gone?
So we have that
I'm
matching.
so sorry, I didn't know we were doing the thing. I would have won my thing.
Yeah,
Hey,
you-
there was a bus. The bus caught fire.
Oh,
A BST bus?
Bus caught fire while stationary.
whoa.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I don't know. It was at the signal and it caught fire. I walked all the way from Bandra Talao right now.
Oh, crazy, dude.
Yeah. I'm done for cardio for this quarter.
You should have just become a fire brigade. person with them.
No, by the time I got there, the action was done, or I would have jumped in to save a baby or something. But apparently, they knew it was gonna catch fire. Apparently, the driver was like, "Okay, guys, it's gonna catch fire now, so let's vacate the area." So everyone like
Weirdest
So everyone was safe.
riot ever. Like
bus burning
next
itself.
time when like the Delhi program skipped, they were like, "ये bus से अपने आप जल गया."
Yeah.
Anyways, we were talking. We've covered a lot of his story. So
Oh, that's
you watched
great.
the episode with everybody
Okay,
else.
fine.
But this is my comeback, by the way. Like there was one time when I was late and he hosted the entire episode with the guest. So it's the equilibrium has been
Yes.
achieved.
Yes, and then there was one time the guest was late, and we did the entire episode without the guest.
No
And-
cutout or anything.
Nothing.
पोस्ट में ऐड कर देंगे ऐसा नहीं.
See, we have no production value.
Yeah.
It's just us. This is what Pogo was back in the day, right?
Just wait for 5 minutes and the lights and all will go off in the middle and all.
Yeah.
Everything will happen.
No,
Yeah.
Pogo was very sorted. Yeah, like one of the reasons why I decided to continue the show was like every time I would sit down and discuss ideas and say, "Oh, I want to do this. I want to build like a 30-foot dinosaur out of like." They were like, "Okay." And then, I want like 3 cars. I want to slice them and 1 auto rickshaw. They're like, "Okay." So like
What are the
sorted. Like
most
अभी artist को क्या
outlandish-
चाहिए और
सबसे वाहियात आइडिया जो आपने उनकी तरफ फेंका था वो क्या था?
Yeah.
सारे ही बहुत भाई जाते हैं यार. Like now it's like to look at it and go अच्छा हाँ उसने 30 feet dinosaur बना दिया कार पार्ट से तो समझ आ जाता है.
correct.
But उस टाइम पे like so I was really like just sitting down going क्या करना चाहिए, like you know looking at cars passing by like what if I take these cars and it's almost like Transformers वाला scene, no?
Yeah.
काट के इसको बना देंगे तो ऐसा कैसा लगेगा. Okay, I should put this down, you know, really like that.
Yeah.
Or I want to paint like an image. Now everyone is doing whatever your regular. अभी पेंट ब्रश नहीं है तो मॉप से बना देंगे. But अभी और alternate medium क्या हो सकता है? I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can take like people do rangoli, you know. So maybe take rangoli powder, or but like if you do rangoli powder, then it's like a direct connect. What if I do it with salt?
Yeah.
You know, and then you put down that idea. So when you're sitting and discussing, it was like that. And they also had like a really nice team. Whenever I would design a season, I would sit with them. They would get like 4-5 people together, and we would brainstorm on. Acha, no, you can take this to another level if you set this up on fire. Pogo hai.
India 2020.
So yeah,
We did one like Sphinx
wow.
made out of cardboard boxes.
I remember that one.
Ah.
Yeah, that was crazy. By the end of it, if you have watched the video, my whole crew was like trying to lift the head of the Sphinx because body to bana diya. They had those big hay ka this thing, no, stacks.
Hmm.
उस पे लगा के बॉडी बनाया and the head was the one that had the most detail.
Yeah.
But that I did flat on like a big sort of wooden frame and then I was sticking boxes and making the thing. अभी उसको lift करना है and
Yeah.
my DOP is going कि अरे बस sunset होने वाला है 10 मिनट. I need 5 minutes. 5 minutes के बाद अभी 5 मिनट रह गए. It's like I just need 2 minutes. They're like sun is going down. I can see there.
Yeah.
Outdoor shoot में ऐसा scene रहता है.
You
And
can't
then
fucking-
everyone
yeah.
came together. The guy who was managing the gym and the crane also is there. वो कौन सब संभाल रहा है? We managed to put it up and we got that beautiful shot like against the head, no, the sun going down and it happened. But that was fun.
Was there any Vahyat idea they had to reject outright? Where they were like, except for the fire thing?
Yeah. Quite a few. I said, between 2 buildings. This is like when I'm a big fan of Spider-Man. So like, between 2 buildings, we'll tie like ropes and make a giant web.
Okay.
And then we can have someone like crawl. Someone मतलब तू ही करेगा. That's what we can do. So he said, अगर तू गया तो शो बंद है. No way we are doing this. और 2 बिल्डिंग कहाँ मिलेगा? ऐसा साथ में खड़ा हुआ है. ऐसे इतने सारे
Yeah,
हैं.
मुंबई में आधे बिल्डिंग का व्यू बिल्डिंग है.
So
Did you
they'll
know the
never
history behind the first Spider-Man movie, which came out in 2002, right? The promo heavily had like one scene where it was like Twin Towers and बीच में Spider-Man का web पे वो chill कर रहा है ऐसा. That was the promo image.
देखो अभी
2001 में promo image आया था और बाद में आया the 9/11 attacks happened and they were like fuck निकालो They had to. And one more funny thing is because अपना who's that Big Popper नहीं the rapper dude.
Big
The one who was
Notorious
beefing with-
B.I.G.
Notorious B.I.G. He had like blew up like World Trade Center. He says that.
Yeah.
But that was also done before 9/11,
Yeah.
so he couldn't take it
But
out.
even
He died before.
the System of a Down had a song that came out. Chop Suey came out at that time.
Yeah.
And उसमें there is a line ना कि my self-righteous suicide or something it says. So they took it off all the radios and all. They're like अरे ये थोड़ी अभी चलेगा dude
It was a
गाना.
great song. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great song. But
Because they also use blasphemy, because Father forgive me is what Jesus says at the end. Father forgive them, for they have not known what they have done, because they have killed many types. And then he uses that in the
song.
So when I played it at my house, my mom was like, "What the fuck are you listening to?" Okay, like my sisters and all don't use the F word very usually, but they're like, "What the fuck is this?" Because clearly like it's metal. And my aunt is a nun, so she would like, he's gone now.
Demonic music you are
Devil has
listening
taken
My
over.
dad used to just take my tapes and then record gospel songs on them. I'm not even kidding. Suddenly I'm putting the Tupac album and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is what happens if you play music like this in the house.
Oh
but
man.
then that's what the gospel rock music people were also doing to get the youth afterwards. In
Yeah.
Porta, they would have these gospel rock concerts where all the
Yeah,
kids were like,
yeah.
you know, nah, Jesus, all of that we're doing. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like
you're using the
hip-hop
same,
version of the-
you're using the same medium to like, and they're also using all these songs that are famous,
Correct.
like like
Picking up their hook, whatever, and
yeah.
then
I've
making...
seen this with a lot, like
Yeah.
even in
Bhajans also,
even
Bhajans
bhajans
also,
and all, they
correct.
do that. Like
Yeah.
a lot of Jain bhajans do that.
yeah,
They-
Mata ji ke darshan mein humko roz jaan. I remember that.
And that's how you remember.
Music, art, and dance. But good thing people are calling you Pogo on the streets. Imagine you were like a mad man.
That also has happened. Recently, not very long back, I was in Goa in the night market, and I was walking and somebody spotted me, and the people walking next to me, abhi bada market hai. And then someone said, "Madman, madman!" And people walking next to me going like, "Kya hai scene iska?" But they call
Like,
me.
here's my machine.
Everyone remembers me as
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like if they know my name also, they'll come and say Mad.
That's crazy.
Oh, but even right now, I don't know if you spoke about, and I don't know what all you have talked about.
So we
I am
spoke
in
about
a-
how we got the gig.
Yeah.
And the look and everything, how it helped in the auditions
Yeah.
and everything, and how we cut to a lot of people. And yeah, that's pretty much
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Then
Yeah. Yeah.
हाँ वो तो important भी नहीं था.
Yeah. Yeah. Even
मेहनत थोड़ी करी है. मिल गया उसको.
yeah. Yeah.
When you were planning out like just the general workings of the show, you would have had to work out format and this and that. Like, cause this was, I think, what you were on how many times a week? Thrice a week? No, more.
No, Sunday was like the new episode, but
Then
had
it was
reruns,
reruns, right?
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
shit,
They
yeah.
would
No?
play segments also between.
That's a good
Correct,
thing with
correct,
kids shows, because we wouldn't realize only half the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
you
what
can-
happened. No, when I did like couple of seasons, then they were like, okay, now you take seasons or whatever episodes and
And
then
do
just
those-
like
yeah.
club them together. Iska ek segment, iska ek segment, and we did specials also like that.
Yeah.
Like we
Nice.
would shoot new links and
Yeah.
new whatever segments,
Yeah.
and then play some old footage.
Yeah.
Because they're like हर साल तो नए बच्चे पैदा हो जाते हैं. क्या पता चलेगा.
बहुत सारे, yeah.
Well,
Even the ads in the kids shows. Have you seen like we otherwise get all these other like sanitary pads or whatever. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
But they're always like, even the biscuit is sunflower. Even the like the tail
soaps,
is the soaps.
dude,
All are like
all the shaped
yeah.
little soaps that I bought
Doi,
watching. Yeah.
Doi, yeah.
Yeah. And they're very particular also, no? Like I remember when I was designing, then they would have guidelines, no? Like you can't do this, okay, no
Right.
knives, no whatever, no fire.
Right.
And Pogo also had this really fresh look. Like everything that we were creating needed to have that look so that the content doesn't look dated or,
Yeah.
you know. So at one time they said something like, this is like the color sort of swatches that we use, and उसमें मैं देख रहा हूँ पे ज़्यादा कुछ black वगैरह है ही नहीं, और all bright poppy colors.
Yeah.
So I said अभी if I'm making a bat, I have to make it black, no?
Yeah.
अब उसको yellow थोड़ी बना सकते हैं.
Yeah.
Like but you have to avoid black, you have to avoid. तो वो भी बहुत रहता था. Like, so
What a weird level, dude. What a weird
Yeah.
level they're operating on.
if I'm working with like some metal or something and I had to cut it, they said use round tip safety scissors. I said pliers. I can't use round tip safety scissors. I have to use pliers.
Yeah.
We can give a warning. I'm like, I said no, we have to. So slowly, so with my show they allowed a lot of things.
Yeah.
From fires to tools to whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that helped because we were being very honest with like our content or
Yeah.
our programming. Yeah.
But I feel like with, I think Noddy was on Pogo.
Yeah.
And Pingu was on Pogo.
Yeah.
And Oswald was not on Pogo.
It
no?
was, it
was
was.
on Pogo, right? Yeah. Between these three, the things that used to happen in that shit was way more intense.
That's what we were saying. Yeah. I remember I would mimic Oswald and make people laugh. He'd be like, "Ki chalo Veeni." And his hands were always like this, right? 4 of his tentacles are like doing this. Aaj hum jayenge market mein.
उसका
And,
कुत्ता
and we had no option, like, because like Dish TV came in later with the option of like English or Hindi you can choose. But earlier cable syndication was like तुम लोग हिंदी में ही सुनोगे. Like, there's no other option. So like for the longest time I did not know Harry Potter में what is Expecto Patronus. I was always listening to Peter Dave Sharakshan. I'm assuming that's what he's saying also.
Yeah, this was the thing with one of those Pokemon episodes where because they would dub it in Hindi. There was an episode where it was just the Pokemon on an island.
Yeah.
So all the Pokemon are saying throughout the episode is Pika, 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 Pika.
Yeah,
तो वो
yeah.
कितनी बार बोलेगा voice actor? So instead they just translated the subtitles.
Correct.
And kept the English subtitles and then did the lines in English.
Correct.
They had to go to great extents, dude. Nothing that your show didn't have any of these concepts.
No. I mean, I used to shoot it in Hindi.
Yeah.
Okay. And then why I started dubbing my English also was, I think I was in Chennai once and we were watching, और होता था हम लोग event कर रहे हैं शाम को आके you have to play Pogo to see कि क्या program.
How it turned out, yeah.
Because everyone is there, like from marketing and program, whatever. People used to come down for events and all. And in the night we were sitting in someone's hotel room chilling, in drinking, whatever. And we would watch
That's right,
Pogo.
kids, people drink in hotels.
Those kids are grown up now.
Yeah, then he's a real madman.
Yeah, the kind of requests I get now, like, especially that I'm in Goa. So yeah, and then we were watching and then one rerun came. And this was dubbed in English. And that guy didn't sound like me at all. So suddenly, and I'm generally talking and it's playing in the background. And after every 10 minutes, I'm going, because it just seemed like, it's coming from here and it's going, and today we'll make it. And I'm like, that's
अगर
not
मैं गला
me.
साफ करूंगा तो उसका आवाज बराबर निकलेगा.
So I said, मेरे को खुद dub करना पड़ेगा, ये नहीं चलेगा.
Oh,
Then I
shit.
started dubbing it.
But especially because Chennai needs that also. Like they don't, they're very against the idea of everything being syndicated in Hindi.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, down south, everywhere, we had the English dub.
Yeah.
But then when I started doing it, then it seemed more sort of cohesive.
So when was the last season of your show, like that year?
Last original season, I think we did in 2008 or 9. Uske baad we were just doing specials, like I said, yeah.
Till 14 you were doing specials.
Yeah. We would do, we also did a Camp MAD or MAD in Singapore, or
Correct.
we would take a bunch of kids to Singapore, or we would take a bunch of kids to a campsite. And that was also fun, to be in an actual setting and say, chalo, we'll go for trekking, pick up stuff, and then when you come back, we'll make stuff with that.
Nice. Yeah.
And then now we'll sit around the bonfire. We did some shadow puppets. Now we'll do a shadow puppet theatre show.
Yeah.
Or random things like that.
What I personally like about your show is because now even on Facebook and Instagram you see a lot of these DIY videos which are okay, we're going to watch this for 5 minutes and at the end you'll get to see what happens because you have no idea what they're doing essentially, right?
Yeah.
Just ye ho gaya. But with your show you were doing a very step-by-step analysis.
Correct.
Aisa karoge to you'll achieve this.
Genuinely for somebody to do it at home, not just to watch mindlessly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I felt like I can replicate this if I watch this.
And I was very particular at times, the director or someone would go, why are you taking so much time? Or I would say even the angle of the brush, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
With time, that now if I hold the pencil this way or brush this way, my stroke will be so much better. Or for this, I don't have to use my wrist but my elbow, to get that stroke. Or here you have to use your whole shoulder. And those kind of tips really help people understand कि अच्छा ये इसने ऐसे किया तो ये ऐसे बना. Now you it's like स्वाद अनुसार, namak.
Yeah.
It's like that. When you're making something, they don't show you exactly how much water you have to put or how. So yeah, we were very, very particular.
I remember I learned how to make stars in a black background from what you had shown. The brush ko aisa. I was artistically inclined, so that was one thing my mom and dad were like, you watch, you do all these things.
Superb.
Sharpener ke kachre se flower banaya. Wow. I was major into upscaling also, my project for my second grade was they were like, everybody has to make something out of garbage, and this one kid actually bought garbage, वो कच्चे का डब्बा लेके आ गया स्कूल में, because mom was like garbage मतलब, and मारवाड़ी kids like no idea. तो उसकी garbage में से निकाल के ढूंढ रहे सब लोग क्या क्या थैली निकल रहे, वो सब दूध का पैकेट निकल रहा, and but I made a nest out of a matchbox and a broken egg, of course. But my mom, she was like, you take a boiled egg because then you can eat it also. So if last lecture's arts and craft research, I'm making sure that I can remove the egg properly or it doesn't crack and all of that. So it was fun, good times.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the transition to YouTube and what's up now. We are with Rob. We're going mad. See you.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. Listeners, presenting to you Club Cyrus Says, the premium tier offerings for our podcast. Only club members will get Cock and Bull episodes every Monday. Extended and unfiltered versions of guest episodes. Access to the Club Cyrus Says Discord server. And audio offerings such as ad-free episodes and early access to guest episodes. Also, members get to decide the topics of the live episodes and get their names on the producer slate at the end credits. Meanwhile, the regular Cyrus Says episode will now stream live on YouTube on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. and the guest special episode premieres on YouTube on Fridays at 12 p.m. So make sure you subscribe to the Cyrus Says YouTube channel as well. On Pop Rap, Snehil, Nikhil and myself, Antariksh, dive into the romantic songs of Bollywood and the Sidka, that is Siddharth Malhotra and Kiara Advani's wedding. All episodes are out on the IVM Pop feed. And on the greatest show ever created, on Just a Filmy Game Show, I, Antariksh Thakkar, quiz comedians Rohan Gujral and Pavitra Shetty about Bollywood movies and a lot more. Tune in to find out who won the title of the biggest Bollywood Divana. All episodes are out now on the IVM Pop feed. On Varta Lab, Aakash and Navin talk to actor Siddharth Menon about his career and some crazy stories from his life. And on Postcards from Nowhere, Utsav takes us on a journey starting from Edinburgh to Stalinist Russia. Once again, don't forget to visit our merch store on ivmpodcast.com. We have some exciting stuff for you. Follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. And if you like our shows, spread the word, tell your friends, and don't forget to rate and review the shows wherever you're listening to them. You'll also find all our shows on youtube.com/IVM Podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week, Yono SBI, Capgemini and HDFC Mutual Fund. Thank you for making this possible.
Whenever I see a street musician, I always make sure I go and give them some money.
Yeah.
Because it's the last bastion left for most people, right?
Yeah,
Like,
if nothing, go and stand there, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's how Ed Sheeran started.
Yeah.
That's why even that girl who played that song, Dance Monkey, she was in Australia and she was spotted by a talent because of that.
Yeah.
Because she would just keep playing that song over and over again and everybody would gather.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like Dub FX. Dub FX did the same
Yeah.
thing as well. There's a whole bunch of these musicians, like even this guy called Mr. Woodnote. All they have is a looper and a small battery and they'll just busk all over the world and put out albums that way. Just बैठे रास्ते पे एक camera लगा के video बनाते हैं.
Yeah.
Good shit, you should support that shit. I tried to busk once when I went to Spain. And then my father was very offended at first, saying कि तू भीख क्यों मांग रहा है? I was like, that's not the same. And she was like, yes, it's the same.
And you're like, I'm in Spain and yes is silent.
I was singing Gujarati songs. And then some people came and put the money.
Gujaratis.
And no, it's just random people. And then my mom was very fascinated, saying, तूने गुजराती गाना सिखाया, तेरे को पैसा मिला.
Wow.
And that was the only takeaway for them from the entire experience.
Yeah, now you can take all the folk songs and make it like universal.
Yeah.
Like, Mare hi vade mein. Is that Gujarati? I don't know. That's Marwadi, I think. So I told you, you'll get used to this by the end of it. So let's talk about YouTube because like immediately as soon as YouTube happened,
Okay.
we all like, let's all get a coughs and snorts out.
Yeah, because it's been very cloudy lately with
yeah,
smoke.
It's horrible.
Yeah. You're based in Goa now.
Yes,
Much better that must be.
Yeah.
Is it?
it is.
Fuck.
But
I was just telling
yeah.
him like at the beginning that I was in Delhi and Jaisalmer and nothing happened and I came back to Goa and 2 days I was just like with blocked nose and coughing.
Yeah.
So he said, after effects.
The allergy goes both ways. Like you get allergic to smoke, but then when you're in smoke for a bit, you get allergic to clean air.
Yeah.
Your body's like, wow, what is...
Same thing. Like I came back from Goa, like 10 days I'm breathing nice air, everything is fine. Like I have crazy sinuses. So like, not like they're crazy, like they get affected very fast. And Mumbai aate 2 din mein, like it's just like, I'm sounding like myself again.
No, also like when you go to say a Delhi or Jaisalmer and you know it's cold, you'll layer up, no? अभी गोवा में थोड़े ना तुम 3-4 लेयर पहन के बैठोगे. You are there in your t-shirt and shorts and you're roaming about.
And Goa winters fuck with you because they're like कि रात को बहुत ठंडी होएगा.
Correct.
8 बजे के बाद and it'll be there till 7 in the morning and there is again tropical. Now
But
go fuck
that's like
yourself.
tropical winter. Right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah,
But
okay.
I always...
But lately it's been really
I'm not
like,
vibing with you only today now. Fuck off.
You came late, that's why.
That has
you
nothing to do
vibe
with
with
it.
the bus more than you vibe with me.
I vibed with you when you came late. You are making this a non-issue.
Because I'm a vibrator of a human. You know, I vibe very hard. So
And I am vibrant, but that doesn't mean
we have
that our
different vibes.
frequency is match.
there's a lot of learnings from the show.
on how not to do a show.
So yeah, post show we were talking about life after the show. So what was like? How was that? What was the plan? Was there a plan when you were? Did you see कि अभी next एक साल के बाद तो ये खत्म करना है? Do I want to move on, or was it sudden?
No, yeah. I had reached a phase where I'm both like it was pretty mutual. Like even the channel, because they were like, हाँ हमारे पास अभी bank है पूरा
Yeah.
episodes का,
Yeah.
we can mix and match or cut segments and play. And for me as an artist, I was like, okay, I'm done यार. Almost 10 साल हो गया है,
Yeah.
you know. And I wanted to do new stuff. It was a very expensive show to make.
Yeah.
You know, like random ideas that you were talking about. I would say, I want to paint an elephant. अभी elephant कहाँ से लेके आएंगे? Then you would plan, जैसे जयपुर में है, and then you have to keep in mind that, you know, animal cruelty का भी scene रहता है. तो we figured out one जहाँ पे आप actual ये natural some paints and all whatever they use made out of flowers and things,
Yeah.
and they use it for festivals, and because that is accepted now, only thing you're doing is you're changing the design on it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do paint
But
them,
now-
like in Kerala and all.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Jaipur also they
Correct,
do.
correct.
So then flying a whole crew there, figuring out, and then we wanted to shoot. Abhi elephant का क्या scene रहता है ना? They have set design, they do it, and it's done. For
Yeah.
me, my design was slightly more intricate, more fun for television. Abhi पूरा दिन shoot करना है. So you can't make an elephant like stand in one place. No, you can't tie it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you have to book a haveli, you know, because it's like a controlled sort of
Yeah.
space. वो उसमें घूमता रहेगा, and our camera, so you won't get any crowd. So it becomes very expensive to
Yeah.
shoot. So when the channel also decided कि अभी हो गया है, we need to save money, so you know doing these reruns and repackaging content becomes easier. I was like, okay, then I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, time to move on and try new things. And because I'd done kids television for so long, I was like, now I need to take a break and try something new.
Yeah.
So after some time, I decided I'll travel for a year. And I was just filming, like, you know, how people do vlogs now. So
Yeah.
that kind of like pick up a camera. And I always used to do that for most of my holidays, come back, cut a nice video. And
Yeah.
not for,
Yeah.
like,
I remember this. That used to be a thing. We would
Yeah.
cut things just for ourselves.
just for
Yeah,
ourselves, you know,
yeah.
like for friends and family, and or just to document, you know.
Yeah.
अच्छा मैंने first time whale shark देखा है, तो एक होना चाहिए ना
Yeah,
memory
yeah.
picture के अलावा. So things like that. So then I thought, why not make a show around that? And what I also used to do was I used to sketch a lot and just to document things. And when people would flip through my sketchbook and see these documented things or stories, and you know, they were very fascinated. They said, "इसका कुछ करता है क्यों नहीं है?" You know, like people
Yeah.
would make a graphic novel or make a. I thought maybe I can incorporate this, you know, whole storytelling format and travel and maybe figure out like some folk stories and stuff. And क्योंकि वो सब भी मैं बहुत document
Yeah.
करता था.
Hmm.
So I tried like a travel show concept जो बिल्कुल नहीं चला. I went to so many channels and they were like, we need sponsors, we need advertisers. And then I realized how difficult it is to, because I thought like, you know, I have a pretty decent following, और जो 10 साल का था अभी 10 साल के बाद 20 साल का हो गया, तो वो travel कर रहा है.
Yeah.
मैं बोलूँगा कि, you know, I'm designing a show for these guys, automatically the audience will come and people will be like, हाँ ये तो कर सकते हैं, no
Yeah.
brainer. But it didn't happen.
Travel shows especially are very difficult because
Very difficult.
you're traveling and then the entire crew is also traveling.
Correct.
you know.
No,
Khana
that I
khilana-
figured out that, you know, I'll have a small team, you know,
yeah.
got my friends together, shot a pilot,
Correct,
all of
correct.
that. But still they were like, no, for the travel space, you need sponsors, you need, you know, it's all like brand driven kind of.
SOTC money you need.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, maybe I'll find people to come on board. And while I was doing my, you know, phone calls, random phone calls with people, I also got in touch with Sony Music because I was like, you know, a music label can come because we're using a lot of music. If you sponsor, I'll use your music library. We
Yeah.
have done original music right now.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. And while I was discussing with them, they said, you know, we are also have this new vertical where we're designing a lot of content for kids and youth, music related, or why don't you come on board and do some stuff? You know, so I said, चलो ठीक है, travel show बनेगा, इनके साथ ये बनाते हैं ऐसा. But then slowly that went on the back burner and I started making a lot of YouTube content and that's how the whole YouTube's
Yeah.
journey started.
Yeah.
But then I slowly started enjoying that space as well because it's nice that you can build a community. You know, I was still doing what I was doing for television, but now I had more control because you can play around with the format. जो आपको बनाना है वो बना के डाल सकते हो. Nobody is telling you अभी round tip safety scissors use करना. You know, things like that. So
like take a blowtorch out on YouTube.
yeah, you can, you know, if you want to.
Yeah.
And you can get in touch with your viewers or audience like
Directly, yeah. It's
directly.
real
Yeah.
time also, yeah.
Yeah, it's real time. So that I started enjoying a lot. And yeah, that's how my transition happened. But it was difficult. For a year or so, I had like 1,500 subscribers. Badi nahi raha, and I was like, what is happening? Nobody knows I'm in this space, or nobody's. So it was almost like,
because there was a disconnect. Like, even I'll be honest, like we remember you from TV, and then for years I was like, "Where's Rob?"
yeah.
Because we did not know where
Yeah.
you were. Because like the
I
whole
think Instagram is
Yeah.
when it sort of like I started seeing you again after a really long time.
correct, yeah. Because
Correct.
then like, and I remember one of my friends was like on their stories were like, "He's back," and I'm like, "Did he go somewhere? Did he leave in India? What happened?"
Yeah.
But you were here only.
Yeah, I was here only.
You liar. Whoever you are.
But then this is what I did. But every time I went to like a fan fest or an event, I saw like, comedy was doing really well on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like all AIB and
Yeah.
Abish and all these guys I would meet, and then we would chat, backstage. I thought maybe, and everyone was like, oh, back in school I did this, when I saw your episode, I made
Yeah,
this. I said, Abhi, wo sab chhodna, abhi tu mere show pe aake banate na saath
Correct,
mein.
correct, correct.
Haan.
They said, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
So I started doing these collabs. Then I would
Yeah.
call an Abish, I would call Kanan, I would call. And that slowly helped me connect with my audience again.
Yeah.
Because these guys were watching, like, the comedians and stuff, and they're like, oh, acha, ye kahan se aa gaya?
Correct.
And then we saw a little bit of growth, a little bit of
Yeah.
spike.
The direct nostalgia hit has to happen. Like for
Yeah.
that same fan base to discover you again,
Correct.
it's a good route.
It's interesting,
smart.
na? It's like the new pop culture meets the old pop
Old pop,
culture,
yeah.
and both sort of like rejuvenate each other in some sense.
Together they're grand pop culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it was little comforting कि उस टाइम पे लग रहा था maybe what I'm doing doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
With television, when we designed that show, at that time everyone thought कि पता नहीं चलेगा नहीं चलेगा. It
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah.
And it was really exciting to see that people are accepting this so well.
Yeah.
मेरे को लगा भी YouTube space में, because there already is so much of DIY,
Correct.
maybe what I'm doing doesn't work. But after doing like these collabs with the comedians, and I saw that growth, I was like, no. It's just that they didn't know I was here.
Yeah.
Correct.
They still enjoy what I'm doing. So that was.
I feel this more and more though in my life also. Like every now and then like especially with the YouTube, so much of it is algorithm, and who sees you is dependent on
Yeah.
so many variables.
Yeah.
And then whenever I go on tour and you sell some tickets and all, and you're like, oh yes, I exist. Like
Correct.
this is beyond like a screen. This is between real people and all. This is a great feeling. But it's a testament also that you're actually good at something. You know what I mean? A lot of personalities aren't actually good at anything. They're just like famous for being famous. So then
Yeah.
those people have trouble surviving. You have a solid thing.
Mm.
Like
You know?
recently, Kim Kardashian gave a lecture at Harvard Law School, business school or
Perfect.
something,
Yes.
where she's like, "This is how you do business," and they're like, "Who the fuck? We're paying so much money to come and listen to somebody who essentially did nothing for a living, right?" They were just like they don't have talent. Let's just
True,
be
true.
real about this. All of the
Yeah,
Kardashian
it's
and Jenners
a
are
lot of
just like-
marketing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like a lot of Botox, lot of fighting, lot of inbreeding, and that's what we get.
What?
Just go with it, man. Just go with it.
I'm just
No,
a
but-
joke cutter today.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in my case, like often I talk about this only. Like when people say, "Haan, kaisa hua? Oh, you got that audition, and then they suddenly took
Yeah.
you, and then you got this amazing opportunity. How lucky!" But I spent a lot of years,
Yeah.
like how we were talking about busking and all. When I was in art college, or even before that, I used to draw a lot. Yeah, I've drawn for like children's books to like pamphlets to like some friend who's a musician, उसके father का कुछ निकल रहा है book, उस पे उसने कुछ poems लिखा है, they need someone to draw. Or
Yeah.
joining art college, and my seniors are doing work for like trade fair and stuff where they're painting giant murals, going there and all night like just standing there and painting with them and drawing,
Yeah.
because they will give you chota mota kaam na,
Yeah,
chal
yeah,
acha, I've
yeah.
drawn this, go paint. But they was working on scale.
Yeah.
So all that helped me
For
later
sure.
in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like that's such a strong thing for people to like keep in mind nowadays more than ever. Ki, like you have to do the thing, you have to put
Correct.
in the time, make a body of work.
there are no
You know?
shortcuts, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and like hustle is a very vague word.
Correct.
It's like it's very easy to say I need to hustle and then not know what the fuck to do. But like actually you need to just get up, do the thing in the morning every day, do the thing for
Absolutely.
fucking
Yeah.
20 years, and then it leads to something.
Hustling is not torturing yourself. That's
Yeah.
that's the notion online on LinkedIn essentially nowadays. Like Zomato ka CEO put out this thing job offer saying ki I need a mini CEO essentially for this operations part. This is a 24/7 job. He said
Yeah.
that. He's like, this is the requirement. You can't have control over your life or whatever. You're entirely our minion.
Yeah.
And that's the language they're using to hire people because they're like, कि ये hustle culture है, bro.
Yeah.
तो अभी सोएगा तो आदमी मर जाएगा. But you have to, sleep, work now, sleep later when you're
Yeah.
dying or whatever. That culture. And I'm like, hustle is not torture.
Yeah,
Hustle
yeah.
is knowing that everything I'm doing is going to add on to that whole,
Yeah.
a sum of all parts is going to make me a better person at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The struggles are
And,
like
and
that.
when you're
It's-
younger,
Yeah.
you should also hustle. I mean, like we are saying, hard work is important.
Yeah.
तो करना है, but you should not promote like an unhealthy lifestyle. यार.
Correct.
That's what is happening now.
Yeah.
कि जो लोग ये सब बोलते हैं ना, advocate अरे crazy hustle all the time attitude. They don't talk about taking breaks,
Yeah.
taking it
Yeah.
easy, slowing down. That is also very important. No? And that was one of the reasons why I moved to Goa. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was like, I'm
Yeah.
done with all of this. If I keep doing this, then I'll run out of gas.
Yeah.
I need time for myself. I need time for my relationships. I need
Yeah.
time for my friends and family. So
Gas is cheap
hustle,
also.
but be smart about it. Have a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
work-life balance.
Yeah.
I'm actually considering it, moving out of Bombay. So,
He wants to move to Goa or Bangalore or something.
but Bangalore,
Yeah.
no.
Goa, and it's not that far also. Like
Yeah.
you can drive there, or it's like an hour away. Whenever I have work, like now I had like couple of things to do. I came now like it's just an hour away, and then you
Yeah.
can finish your work and go back.
Yeah, even flights are 1 hour, but flights are actually 40 minutes. It's not even, it's a joke.
Yeah.
But train says 10 hours. It's like, it's not that far
Overnight.
away.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
drive also is like 9-10 hours.
Correct.
Yeah. You should
वैसे
do
भी
it.
यार I was staying in Andheri and my like earlier Pogo was in Bandra and Sony Music was also Khar. वो 1.5 घंटा तो मेरे को ऐसे ही लग जाता था आने में.
That's what, man.
तो
Yeah.
अभी मेरे को गोवा से 2 घंटा लगता है आने में.
Correct.
Like if I calculate like leaving home, being at the airport, taking the flight and coming
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is okay.
Do it.
Do it.
I want to live vicariously through you. Go.
पॉडकास्ट कौन करेगा लौड़े?
तो आने का ना ऐसा 1 हफ्ते के लिए 10 एपिसोड करने का फिर चले जाने का.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll come late next time then.
Yeah.
मेरा flight late हो गया.
If anything,
sorry.
we're even now, Naveen. Even, not at not unpar, whatever. I don't know whatever I'm
Odd. We're not odd.
saying. Yeah, we're not
Yeah,
odd.
yeah.
We're even.
Duh. So what's the after? Imagine that. Like, can you tell us a little bit about that? Are you at the luxury of sharing
Yeah.
the information?
After imagine that or imagine
Like
that?
imagine that,
that.
और उसके बाद के बाद में बात करें. I asked 2 questions at the same time.
Imagine that was again, first of all, I was surprised that Disney got in touch and they wanted me to create a show for them because, in this space it doesn't happen. Yeah, like I was a very, Rob, M.A.D, Pogo, almost like I said, people called
Yeah.
me Pogo, people
Yeah.
called me M.A.D. So that kind of association and then another competitive channel coming to and saying, now you do the same for us.
Yeah.
Most people will be like, "Arey, if you put them on channel, people will think कि ये Pogo का show है."
Hmm.
So I was very surprised that they came. But then again, I was very happy also
Yeah.
because it, sort of shows that, what you're doing.
It's a validation
yeah,
also.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mileage.
Yeah. So I said, okay, cool. And I designed this show, which was about upcycling and recycling, and again, art being like the core, at the core of it. We wanted to bring in a lot of technology. That's why I said that whole hologram
Correct,
watch
correct.
and one tech room where the kids can communicate and one hologram appearing and
Yeah.
video calls with kids. तो मज़ा आया शो का. When we did M.A.D, it was like a very basic sort of setup with like just like a standing set and my table, and I would work there and
Yeah,
move to
yeah.
another space and make these big pictures. This was like one full space, because now everyone has their cool sort of space. No, अच्छा यहाँ
Yeah.
मेरा workstation है, यहाँ मेरा ऐसा है. So we had these big shipping containers, and each of the container was a different space that you could enter and all of that. And then we designed the show, and we started shooting. We did like a season, plus we had already developed more episodes, and the show went on air. Got a really great sort of first episode को I think बहुत high rating आया था, and Disney was like really happy कि 10 साल में ऐसा rating किसी show को आया नहीं, and I was happy that Rob is back वाला
Yeah.
scene really
Plus the
worked.
idea of original content, India born, that is on TV, makes
Yeah.
a lot of
Correct,
sense.
correct.
How many years will you see Miley Cyrus do this? I don't understand.
So it was exciting.
Did you do this when you were on Disney?
No.
Shit. There's a video of
I
like,
remember.
yeah, where people are like, they trace actually what they're
yeah.
drawing, and it's mostly inverted buttholes. Mickey Mouse की कान के बदले. Sorry, Disney.
But yeah, it was going well.
My Disney is hurting.
Yep.
Sorry. So then?
Yeah, so I did that, but I didn't continue with it. And then I think they got Vishal and another kid to host the show for the rest
Two of them or like?
Both of them did, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because they got a new kid, and I'm guessing that they were like, "Abhi ye
He's like,
kisko
नया
like-"
पैदा हुआ है, लेके चलो.
हर साल नहीं हो रहे यार.
Exactly. One young boy who was hosting. I saw the episode that they did. पूरा season तो नहीं देखा, but suddenly I was like, अभी कौन आया देखते हैं वाला
Yeah.
scene.
What do you
Yeah.
think about intelligent kids?
What?
You know, like these kids who are like कि मुझे इसका आंसर पता है. मैं स्कूल गया था और मुझे I don't like those kids. I'm just like stay dumb, eat shit for a while.
Just sorry to say you don't like them. You don't particularly care.
So I'm opening the conversation to everybody. What do you think? का मतलब क्या हुआ कि तुम लोग क्या सोचते हो? मेरा opinion मैं बाद में बोलने वाला था, लेकिन मैंने बोल दिया.
Continue. You
No,
don't
just
like them.
We were recently at my partner and I were eating at Blues and we were eating sushi and all.
You get blues.
Blues Kitchen in Bangalore.
Okay.
It's a sushi place.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not too expensive. It's a nice little cute
Small
place.
little place, yeah.
This lady called Loima runs it. It's very
Correct.
personalized.
I
and
will
all.
go there.
Yeah, you should.
Then?
It's nice.
Yeah, there are like 4 tables max. Like 4 under or 2 bahar.
Is it, where is it? Is it near
How is the story
Smokehouse
about
Delhi?
Blues now, man? What the fuck is... Google na, bencho, then go na.
So much fun I had doing that though.
Yeah.
He very quickly derailed. He was just like...
Is it near Mini Punjab? Is it near Bada Punjab?
That's why it's a Varta Lab. You see, I'm doing experiments on you.
Yeah.
So tell me.
So now
You hate kids.
we're at Blues and like this lady and her child is there, okay, who was talking to the owner of the place, Loima. And the lady is like, in Bangalore we eat sushi as well. We go to these places and
Oh,
the child is
really?
like,
Wow.
yeah, in Bangalore we get mackerel, we get salmon. And I'm like, just stop. Just like, stop. Be totla. How stutter. Like, what happened to dumb kids, cleaning their snot, wiping over. What happened to that? Like, why are you so intelligent? I don't get it, Like,
Yeah,
too
they're-
smart, the kids, they rub me
I
the
used to
wrong
get
way.
a lot like that on the show also.
Yeah.
Got to open up.
Yeah. Even when we were shooting in Singapore, there was one girl who had come as part of the group, and she would always, like, wherever we go, like, you're eating something and like, what do you want to have? I want French fries. French fries are not actually French.
Yeah.
मेरे को French fries खाना है यार, मेरे को नहीं पता करना है कहाँ
Yeah.
से. No, but like, I really feel that most of these kids, or like the kids I used to work with in general,
Yeah.
like उनका बस ये होता है कि वो उतने एज पे उनको लगता है अभी हम लोग बड़े हो गए हैं. We are.
Yeah.
If you treat them like adults, no, वो थोड़ी देर बाद उनका खत्म हो जाता है.
Yeah.
Then they don't try and act like, because
Yeah.
they're only doing it to show that, oh, you think you are an adult, you know more than me, I'll tell you मेरे को क्या क्या मालूम है.
Correct.
If you treat them like अच्छा हाँ ठीक है, तू भी
Yeah.
आ बैठ, you can sit at the same table and tell us your stories.
Yeah.
2 मिनट बाद stories खत्म हो जाता है.
हाँ,
Yeah.
वही.
क्योंकि वो लोग जिंदा ही नहीं रहे इतना टाइम.
Like my nephew recently on Christmas, he's like, I gave him an entire geography set, okay, because
Yeah.
he was obsessed with geography. Like he knows like
What's a geography set?
like an atlas and like there's like pinpointing places to like questions and then you can mark and people answer and it's like a whole thing. And he's obsessed with it. It's like whenever I go home, I'm chilling with him. He'll play like, do you know the capital of Indonesia? Do you know the capital of whatever? So I was like, great, like we'll play all of this. Then he got a little too cocky. He's like, did you know Herzegovina mein ye hota hai? All that. I'm like, what the fuck? Where's Herzegovina? But then I am like, how do I usurp this?
Yeah.
I'm like, have you been to Andaman? Right? He's like, yeah, I've been to Andaman. I'm like, do you know there are cannibals over there? He's like, what are cannibals? I'm like, cannibals are people who eat people. He's like, yeah, Mama, we didn't go there. It's like, so I blew his mind essentially in a whole different way. I'm like, now your geography is no use.
Yeah. You could have also just been like, देखना तेरे किताब में क्या लिखा है क्या cannibal.
So it's like, yeah.
But that's the whole idea. Our existence is about taking from the last generation, giving to the next generation. We're just caretakers, my friend.
We are transitions.
Tell me more about blues.
I'll tell you what's blue your
Is
balls.
it near Smokehouse Delhi is all I'm asking
No.
you.
Where the fuck is Smokehouse Delhi, dude?
Damn it. I was close.
Smokehouse Delhi is in
Bandra. Is it not Khar? It's Khar.
Saltwater Cafe is different than Smokehouse Delhi, right?
Saltwater Cafe is in Reclamation.
Correct, yeah. That's the better one.
Yeah. Some things don't make it to the episode and now you know why.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So last question, of course. Like
Sure.
now I've been watching your Instagram. It's a lot of biking content, right? Like your are you official spokesperson for Enfield? Is it?
No. This is very recent.
Because
Like
of
I
wearing the jacket
started.
and
You
everything.
just really like it. right? Like, is it something that you really like, or is it something that you were like, okay, I want to show this part of me now to the world as well?
No, I am collaborating with Royal Enfield,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm putting out a little more
right.
content around them. But I used to ride
Yeah.
a Royal Enfield earlier. I used to ride bikes.
Hmm.
Then I stopped, and then when this collaboration started, then they said, "Chalo, bike chalayenge वापस से." So I thought, "हाँ, chalo, this will be fun."
Yeah.
And yeah, with that association, I started riding their new bikes. So now, when I was in Jaisalmer, they said their new bike is launching, and it's like
Yeah.
a cruiser, and you'll be there for 3-4 days, and they'll give you a new bike, and you can just like ride it and shoot
Nice.
content around it. I
Yeah.
said,
You get to keep it
"Fun
also.
hai yaar." No, not that one.
But that's down the road, and I feel it for you. It's
No,
down the road.
They gave me another bike, different bike.
Which one?
Oh,
A Scram 411.
Acha, which one were you promoting?
That was Super Meteor 650.
Correct.
Right.
Abhi's obsessed with that one. He
Yeah.
wants to buy it.
a super
Because he had an Apache and all in the past.
yeah,
Not
I
Apache.
remember. No, he had a Avenger.
No, Avengers even worse.
Yeah.
This one was what is it called? The green one.
Ninja.
How
Kawasaki
bikes are
Ninja.
of different colors, man. You can't say green one and
But that neon green,
yeah,
that
but
Ninja
yeah.
is quite
It wasn't a Ninja. It wasn't a
No, no,
Ninja.
no,
It was
no,
one
no.
of those cruiser type bikes. It was not one of those
When this
sporty type
episode comes out,
bikes.
he's gonna fucking lose it on me because he's told me the name so many times.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's not. It's,
that's
it's old.
important though. Sometimes you should not remember what your partner says 75 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Okay, yesterday this happened. This counts as a story, also slight blame game, but mainly story. Yesterday, we have a basket to keep the clothes. Okay, so the basket is behind the bathroom door, where it is the safest to bend down and put things, and nobody will hit your head with anything. Okay,
As in?
there's a door, and when you bend in front of, if the basket is too close to the door and the door opens, you'll get hit on the
somebody
head.
bangs it.
My wife moved it to the next to the main door of the room where I was putting clothes into wash, and she opened the door and she hit my head. And I could see the journey on her face, which went from guilt to wait a second, this is not my fault, to you fucking idiot, to convincing that you are an idiot only, but I still feel guilty. That
Yeah.
whole cycle was quite fun.
Yeah, same thing. Like Abhi and I, we were. I was going to my mom's place on Sunday, and my mom is for the last 1 month. She'd be like, "I feel like fafda jalebi. I feel like fafda jalebi."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Cool." So early morning on Sunday, I got a massage, and I was going to Bayandar.
Yeah.
But I told him order fafda jalebi so I can take it home. This bitch orders fafda jalebi at my house, okay, at my mom's house.
Wow.
They are in church. They're not in the
Nice.
house also. And he's like, the neighbors will take. The neighbors had a funeral. Like they're the grand old mom died, okay. So I'm like, उनको तो जाके funeral
फाफड़ा
में
कैसे
देगा? So I'm like, now cancel the order, I guess.
Yeah.
So he was very mad at me, like I made him cancel the order. But
Yeah.
then the realization happened, I should have asked him,
Yeah.
checked, and then like my 570 rupees went away.
570 rupees ka fafda jalebi ordered.
From Borivali.
Oh, madness.
Yeah.
It must have come from very far.
Yeah. But then they're like, sir, we can't refund because we started making fafda jalebi. अरे बोरीवली में कम है खाने वाले.
Yeah, but how is the Instagram now? Do you feel like the short format makes a difference to what you're doing? Do you feel like it affects the scale? Do you feel like you want to do big things at bigger scale, but it's harder now?
For me, like if you look at my reels, most of like or the majority of the content that I make,
Yeah.
you know, the process is the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if I am making like a spray painting or like a mural, and I'm just shooting it vertical and cutting it to 30 seconds,
Yeah.
you know, my process is still the same. Like
Yeah.
it take me 3 days to make.
Yeah, that's what.
I do some that are quick because like you said, algorithm bhi hai, to
Yeah.
uska bhi dhyan rakhna padta hai. I can't do like 3 दिन लगा के and post after every 4-5 days
Yeah.
because it'll take time to edit or whatever. So I think of like some ideas that are quick to do that I can do in an hour or a day, and there are some slightly bigger ones that I'm known for and I know that this is what brings joy.
Yeah.
You know, so I work on those and simultaneously I work. But I think I really enjoy it. Like there was a big transition, like we were talking about. I moved to Bombay to make films and I got into a television show to making YouTube, which is 10 minutes to now 30 second,
Yeah.
15 second. It has been a transition, but at the end of the day, it's storytelling. You know, the format keeps changing, but it's like how you can connect with your audience and tell that story in that shorter sort of duration. So for me, it's been pretty exciting. So maza aata hai ki these reels sort of work.
Yeah.
And it helped my Instagram also.
Yeah.
Earlier I was like, okay, I'm posting pictures of, but it was mostly like a behind the scenes. I'm making a mural, then take few shots of me working, put like a 10-second video. I can't reveal right now, but that wasn't working.
Yeah.
And then with Reels, I started making like content for Instagram.
Yeah.
And basically just cutting down the duration, and it really worked. And I saw growth. So I started focusing more. Abhi YouTube पे कम हो रहा है, Instagram पे ज़्यादा हो रहा है काम.
Story of our lives.
Like there'll be a time where you just like we'll whisper art and that'll be it. Like,
Yeah, I'll just be like,
you know, thermocol. Just throwing keywords.
That also happens, no? Like a lot of videos I see where the people are just opening things, no?
Yeah,
ASMR videos.
So I have to ask you this question because you're the perfect person for this. The whole 5-minute crafts, like कुछ भी कर रहे हो, कुछ भी कर रहे हैं. They're like, I took a cup and put hot glue in it, and now I have a hot glue shaped cup. उसमें चाय पिए. अरे क्या? There's some that is happening in some Serbian country or something.
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
it's badly dubbed. There's also Troom. Okay, Troom, and they're like, have you seen some of the videos are outlandish? Dude, they're like, how to help your friend if they're kidnapped? And there's a girl in the hood, and she's opening it with like a ponytail and all. Some bizarre shit. Have you seen any of these videos? Oh man, something is happening to this whole world.
something is definitely happening to this whole world.
Yeah. Have you checked out any of these 5-minute crafts videos?
I have seen 5-minute craft videos.
Yeah, they use
but
hot glue like for everything.
Yeah. But some of it I also feel is fake. Like, you know, the things
Some?
they make. No, I mean, some things work. Like, I have seen. But yeah, quite a few are just like, hoega hi nahi.
Yeah.
The way they show.
Like
Like once they made like an entire hot glue के साथ they're making shapes. Okay, they're like 3D bridge बना के like now put it behind your back for your lumbar suspension. Chair में नहीं मिल रहा है तो hot glue के साथ क्या गरीब लोग हैं यार ये लोग.
But that won't work.
Yeah, it's not even upscaling. This is just like pure laziness.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks, Rob,
Cheers, man.
for not being part of that tribe.
Yeah.
And for inspiring consecutive generations of people who like visual things and make visual things and to embrace shit.
Like since we were in school,
Yeah.
there's been like 2 more generations of kids who have like now grown up on different mediums. In fact,
Yeah.
So and like bringing on Instagram is kind of bringing it a full fold because now we can also enjoy and the kids
Yeah.
can also enjoy.
And yeah, and your account is like a happy place in what is
Yeah.
mostly like a very
Yeah.
dystopian landscape. You
Thanks,
know?
man,
So
thanks.
thanks for doing
That's
that.
true because like we mostly are very sardonic with our humor or like our objective look at life. It's pretty sad, you know.
Yeah.
But yours is like it's always been a ray of sunshine from when we were kids to now, and I think
Yeah.
and we have not aged also. Like I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. It's Goa, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
It is Goa, it
it's
is Goa.
wonderful skin. Yeah.
It's Sorpotel and good vibes.
Yeah.
And Susagad culture.
Are lovely.
Susigat culture. Oh, can't wait.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
thank
if
you,
you-
man. Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you,
Like,
thank you
I
for
really
being here.
appreciate it.
Thank you so
Did you
much.
have a good time or no? That's what
Yeah,
matters.
that's our main
It
thing.
was all experience.
Only on Varta Lab.
If you
That
like,
was amazing.
yeah.
It was amazing.
Thank you so much. If you like the episode, follow Rob on the Instagram and on the YouTube, and just not in person. It's very awkward. It's very rude.
Yeah, don't do
Naveen,
that.
follow in person
Yeah,
mainly.
please. Yeah.
House of Nurona also on the internet. I am Kushbi Mehta. Varta Lab has its own YouTube account. Please subscribe.